Hi, this is Matthijs Pinaar, Matt for short, from MJP Music Writer. Today I'm going to do something completely different I haven't done before. I'm not regularly a reviewer of products and I've never done it before, and I don't intend to get into that in future. But what I want to do now is help all my Finale friends. I've been using Finale regularly as a professional musician for about 34 years, and since the news last year, obviously I'm one of these guys that had to convert because Finale is no longer supported. Now I must tell you, like most Finale users, I was not happy. 10 months later now that I've been using Dorico Pro 5, I will hopefully upgrade not too soon to Pro 6. It is nice. It is a nice program. I don't know what to tell you. It's a nice program. I describe it this way. When you start working with Finale, it's like you used to a right-hand steering car with your pedals and your levers, your indicator levers on the right-hand side and your wipers on the left-hand side, and everything's in a certain way. And now you move to another country and everything is different. The brake pedal and the main pedal is switched, and the steering wheel is on the wrong side, and your indicator levers, everything is switched wrong. And all your muscle memory is gone. It's out the door. You have to start from scratch. Now, where I was a professional user on Finale, which I could say maybe I went all the way up to the 10th floor of Finale. You know what I mean? I can use Finale like a professional. I was really, really fast. I've done many arrangements and compositions. And now I started on Dorico. Yes, I can tell you right away, it's going to feel like you go down to the first floor, you have to restart, your muscle memory is all wrong, and you don't know what to do. But here's the key. You're going to start at the first floor. Where Finale was all the way up to the 10th floor, Dorico is going to take you up to the 50th floor. It's a far better program than Finale, and I'm a devoted Finale user, and I admit that. Dorico is good, guys. Dorico, there's so many things in Dorico I like. I'm not going to try and list that today. Just to explain, I'm going to give you a few tips. This is from a Finale user to Finale users. What are the few things you can do in Dorico to make it a little less painful? There are a few things I did right away that I learned from Dorico, from YouTube, that you can do that will make things easier for you. You want to sit in front of Dorico, in front of a music program, and don't worry about the computer or how the program works. You want to be creative. You want to apply 100% of your mind on the music you're writing, right? Now, this is hard, and it took me 6 to 10 months to get there. And I'm nowhere near a professional user of Dorico yet. I'm maybe up to like the 5th floor of Dorico now. I know this is going to 50. That's why I'm excited. Please stay tuned, because what I'm going to do now is give Finale users just a few tips on what you can do to make life easier. I'm not going to teach you Dorico. That's not my intention. I'm going to give you a few settings you can set up right away that will make it easier for you to use Dorico. Okay, so let's get started. Now, before I even continue, right away, again, I'm not going to take you around what is happening on the screen in front of you and what Dorico looks like and where all the buttons are and how does Dorico work. On the Dorico channel, there are fantastic training videos that will help you. You can even look for Finale tips that will help you and show you how this works, and you can learn. My advice is the following. What I did, and this worked for me well, I went and I took an old score that I formerly finished on Finale. I printed the PDF out and I put the PDF on my music stand. And I said, right, let's start from the beginning. And I go into Dorico. How do I read that score, the complete score, into Dorico from scratch? From creating the score, inputting the notes, putting the dynamics, everything else I needed to do. And every single time I was, okay, how do I do a time signature? Then you go do this. Okay, how do I put in a triplet? Okay, then, and you go learn. Learn it and exercise it the same way you did with Finale. Think back, guys. Don't be so hard on yourself. When you've learned Finale, it was also difficult. Same thing here. But this, Dorico, is much easier. There's a lot of improvements. I'm going to show you a few of the improvements, just a few. A handful, guys. There are many improvements. I'm going to show you a few, and you will love it. Let me start by giving you just a few tips. Do that right away if you're an ex-Finale user. I'm not talking to Sibelius people here. I'm talking to Finale people here. Do the following. It will help. First of all, the very first thing that was different in Dorico. In Finale, we used to, when you've got a MIDI keyboard, you press the notes on the keyboard, and thereafter you can just press the duration on your keyboard. Dorico switched this around, and this is so irritating. Sorry, Dorico, but it is irritating if you come from Finale. But this is something that's an easy fix. Let me take you through it. You open in Dorico, edit, preferences, note input and editing, and there you've got an option to say, by default, specify pitch before duration. Not after duration, before duration. Just immediately, that will always stay on for you. It's going to be a lot easier. The next one is probably the biggest one for Finale users. you want your note durations to be the same that you had in Finale. In Finale, if I press 5, that was a crotchet or a quarter note. The 8th note was 4, 16th note was 3. You can do the same in Dorico. It's very simple. I'm going to show you how to do that. So you go to Edit, you go to Preferences. Under Preferences, find Key Commands. Under Key Commands, you go to Note Input, expand the menu. Under Note Input, you'll see it's alphabetical. You go to S for Set Note Duration. Now you can see what I did here. If I go to a quarter note or a crotchet, you just say Add Key Command, call it a 5, add it, apply. And you can do the same with every note duration you want here. Let me show you. There's my 8th note. That's a 4, the way it was in Finale. 16th note's a 3. You can set your own durations, and I just set it the same I did in Finale, so I don't have to think. Because I don't want to think, I just want to do this. When you're done close, it's set up permanently. Another tip, I permanently changed the settings in Dorico to match what I used to have in Finale. Is just tell Dorico that the first stave on the first page, I want full names, and the rest of the stave systems, I want the abbreviated names. Very easy. Control-Shift-L for Windows users, Command-Shift-L for... So Control-Shift-L, L is for layout options. It brings this bar. Then under staves and systems, staff labels on first system, full. Staff labels on subsequent systems, abbreviate. Apply, close. Set up for life. This next one and last one is probably the most important one. You have to focus now and you have to listen. And I'm telling all my Finale friends this. At some point in the future, it could be next month, it could be a few months, it could be a year, I don't know. Because of Windows updates, Finale will not work properly anymore because they are not supporting it anymore. When that happens, not if that happens, when that happens, it means you don't have access to any of your Finale MUSX files anymore. It is absolutely essential you take a weekend, you go to Finale, you convert all your Finale files to music XML files so that they are safe and you can open it in future in Dorico. If you don't do that, you can lose lots and lots of work. This is extremely important. There are fantastic videos on how to convert it properly from Finale to Dorico or from Finale to Music XML. And Dorico's got fantastic videos of how to import Music XML files. Don't delay. Do this ASAP as soon as possible. Okay, let's just give you a little bit of feedback now. I'm going to try and tell you what is better in Dorico than Finale, big improvements. The first thing I like about Dorico is the way they think when you set up scores. In Finale, you just put down the instruments, not knowing in advance what the band will look like. For example, you could have a flute player that is doubling on a piccolo and maybe something like a soprano saxophone or something. Dorico does this beautifully. You can set up the score according to actual players and set up different instruments. Now, if you, for example, have a flute and a piccolo and you have them playing in different places, Dorico already print it properly for you the way you want it on one stave, and it's just telling you flute goes to piccolo and go to soprano sax and go back to piccolo in all the right places with the spacing. Something that's automated in Dorico that was never automated in Finale. Even when you write it in 3 different staves, it will still do it because it knows it's one player. I love that. I'm in Finale right now. Another thing I used to do in Finale, you would write your music maybe in for 3 instruments in one bar. Then in Finale, you would go and select the bar and you would say, right, explode this in 3 staves, please. And you go to Utilities, and you say, explode music. From what instrument do you want to explode it? And I say, no, I want it from trumpet 1, please, which is there. If you also do this, I used to do this. It helps a lot in Finale. Dorico is a lot quicker. Let me show you. Okay, so now I'm Dorico. I've got 4 trumpet parts here. I'm not going to write all 4 parts in one stave now and then expand it afterwards. You can also do that, but I'm just going to say no, thank you. I understand what I want to do here. Just give me all 4 parts. I just play all 4 parts, and there you go. It is that easy. Fantastic, isn't it? Next one I absolutely love about Dorico is that instrumental cues is a lot easier. Think back. In Finale, when I wanted to cue something, so you write something for a bassoon. So in Finale, you would either copy it and then paste it and make it smaller and add rest and put it in a different layer. And now it's difficult because the layer will also play back. So you have to set up that that layer doesn't play back. Everything is difficult. The other thing you could have done in Finale that was easier is you used a plugin to say, I want to cue this instrument there. you could do that. But now, with that, you take the bassoon part and you put the cue there for the bass clarinet. Later on, you found the wrong notes and you changed the bassoon part. You had to re-cue the whole thing, delete and re-cue the whole thing. In Dorico, it's all linked. You just tell it what you want to cue, where you want to cue it, and you can drag it left and right and make it longer and shorter, and it's automatically, it will not play back because it's not necessary to play back. It's a lot easier. There are fantastic videos about it. I'm not going to train you. You can go watch it. But fantastic view. Cues are easier. Even rhythmic cues is possible. You can put rhythmic cues on your drum kit so that they understand where the brass is moving or whatever the case may be. It is fantastic. Dorico, double thumbs up for that one. Let's talk about lyrics. Lyric input is almost 100% the same as it was in Finale. You type in space for the next word, hyphen for expanding the words. It's easy. It is beautiful. What is better in Dorico is that it moves the music. It moves bottom staves out of the way if you have 2 or 3 verses. Automatically, it's so beautiful. It's fantastic. Look at this next one. This is one of those big time savers. Dorico has hundreds of fantastic time savers that we didn't have in Finale, I have to admit. So look at this one. So you have music in Finale, and on one stave you have somebody moving and maybe somewhere else, and a few places, but not the entire score. Some of the staves, no music. Now in Finale, if I take this G and I put a fermata on top of it, then I had to go put on a fermata manually everywhere, copy or paste or whatever I want to do. I put it everywhere where I wanted to, and if I have a rest there, then I'm going to have to put a rest in the empty bar because Finale doesn't have the rest in the empty bar, and then I have to go and put the fermata on there to make sure that I copied it everywhere. That always takes time. Look at this. You're going to love this. So I select the note. On the right-hand side, press the fermata button on this note. Look at that. All the way through immediately. In the right place already. Thank you, Dorico. This is a big time saver. Another one I must tell you about is the way Dorico works with percussion. It is fantastic. It's easier to do the percussion on different staves and just easily amalgamate them to show them in many, many different ways. The way you like in your score and into your parts is easier, much easier than it used to be in Finale. I'm not going to do a training video on that, but I can tell you it's easier. Just go check it out. Another thing I absolutely love about Dorico, this is a huge improvement on Finale, is the way they handle the playback features. Of course, you have to play menu, which is a completely different ballgame. I'm talking just playback while you're in write mode, busy writing music. So the first thing you can do, it is very, very easy to just start at the beginning. It's just Control-Alt-Space and it starts. That is if you want to start at the beginning. Then, if you want to start where you are, you can press anywhere on any note or any rest on any bar and you say, I want to start there, and you press P for play. And there you go. It's simple. Another thing you can do, which was difficult, if I wanted to listen, I'm not sure what other clarinets doing in this part. If I were in Finale, I had to open my mixer, I had to say solo these tracks or mute the other tracks or something like that. I had to play around with the mixer. Look how easy this is. I literally just highlight, I want this please, and I press play. It is so simple. In Dorico 6, you can even put loops that just play the 2 bars that you selected or whatever the case may be. So much easier. Well done, Dorico. I love this. Another great thing they put in Dorico that I absolutely love, it's in Dorico 6. I can't demonstrate it to you because I don't have Dorico Pro 6 yet. It's a fantastic thing. You know how in Microsoft Word you press the F7 key and you get that grammar check, and it's just not just a spell check, it's a full grammar check that shows you everything, your spelling mistakes and any other grammar mistakes. Dorico built that into a music program, which I think is just phenomenal. Basically, it checks everything for you and it tells you, okay, now there's not enough time to switch from this instrument to this instrument. Or this trumpet might not have enough time to take out this mute from Ton Sordino to Senza Sordino, or whatever. Or this instrument is out of range, or this instrument doesn't have a cue and is a long rest. A lot of fantastic things. I think it's a great thing to put something like a grammar check inside the music program. Well done, Dorico. I can't wait to use that. The last big one for Finale users, you could open your browser, type in Dorico Quick Reference Card. And just see what it gives you. This is beautiful. I just love this. It will give you on their block, there's a reference card. It is in PDF format. It will give you this Print it out, A3 size, laminate it, keep it next to you. You're going to use it for a few months, but it's going to help you with all this new muscle memory you must learn. If you were a Finale user up to now, I want to tell you, just keep on going. You will love Dorica. I know the muscle memory is a pain. It's a big pain in the neck to learn all the new keys and where to find everything. There's a lot of research, a lot of practice. Take that score, read it in. It will help you a lot. You will get faster. Just force yourself. Bite the bullet, do this. You can do this. I did, and I'm writing on Dorica now full time, and I'm enjoying every second of it. It will get better. This is Matt signing off. Please like and subscribe, and if you want to learn how to write music and you want to learn about especially orchestration and arranging, this is what this channel is really about. Enjoy.